A very good morning, Zimbabwe. Mamukase. My name is Ronald Kwamakusha, and welcome to African Beyond Television Network. Let us talk about the developments or what is happening in the Citizens Coalition for Change. Chalton Hwende has been mobilizing in Mondoro for a very long time, and something came up, the attacks on social media. We have seen several people talking negatively about him, saying all sorts of things. And he has said this is probably the last engagement in Mondoro, and he has decided to quit mobilizing in the rural areas and is now focusing on his roles within the Citizens Coalition for Change as well as his own business. So let us get into this story so that you get to understand what really happened and what really transpired. So let me play this first when he was talking to Citizens Coalition for Change supporters in Mondoro.
zvakakosha kuti mutungamirire musangano wedu sekuziva kwenyu taapadhuze zvekuenda kusarudzo. Sarudzo yedu yasara ndofunga nemwedzi isingasvike 6, saka zvaapadhuze 2023. So yanguva yekuti tichishanda kekupedzisira so that president wedu achambisa vaine kustate house tikwanise kupedza nzara yapinda muzimbabwe. Dambudziko ratinaro iri richaudzwa rofanira kungokutuma wega. Imi sevatungamiriri vanenge vachitungamira musangano kuno, vanhu vanenge vakatarisira zvikuru nekuti mudzimba umu hamuna kumira zvakanaka. Danduko muZimbabwe makadi Mondoro para chekutanga
Is happening. This is what Chalton Hwende said, and I'm trying to look into the Twitter handle. The Panapa Akazoti video here. I've shown you the video, but we need to take a look on what he said on his reporting. So let me try to put it right here on the screen so that you'll be able to see what he said. He said that yesterday I addressed a ward meeting of Citizens Coalition for Change volunteers in Mondoro. We prefer smaller meeting to counter victimization. This is probably my last meeting. I've noticed the negative comments from our CC citizens on Twitter whenever I go on Mogwazo in Mondoro. So this has been happening. And I believe that as Citizens Coalition for Change champions, we are taking it too far. Sometimes it's not good because we make other comrades not feel comfortable. We've adopted a culture of attacking others as if they are doing nothing or as if they are nothing. We now have Twitter champions who know probably everything. He went on to say, I have also considered the stress and anguish which most of the comments caused to my teenage kids. The reason I agreed to help in Mondoro was to assist in growing the rural vote. I did the 38 weekend meetings this year, funding myself and abandoning my work at my logistics company. As a leader in the movement, I have responsibility to take into account the negative comments on Twitter and also self-introspect. I'll use the December holiday to do exactly that. I love Citizens Movement, the CCC Zimbabwe, and will continue contributing in other areas. So this is what Chalton Hwende had to say. And it's a blow to the citizens movement. Why? Is because we now have people who cannot control themselves. Sometimes it's not a matter of saying, I know everything or what. Sometimes you need to limit the attacks on the leadership because you have to recognize the people who are on the forefront. When you are talking about the people who are visible or who are on the forefront, we have Nelson Chamisa, we have Biti Tendai, we have Mike Kore, we have Fadzai Mahere, Comrade Ostalos, we have Chalton Hwende, with so many of them who are on the forefront, who are leaders. These are leaders, no matter you like it or not. These are leaders in the movement, and some of them they are MPs. So when you speak with so much disrespect, because you'll be saying this, they are our servants, we need servant leadership, and so forth, and you take that advantage to rain insults on other people. Honestly speaking, it's not good. So, in my view, there are a lot of people who love citizens' coalition for change, but some of them they're in diaspora. And if we are to be honest, they will never come back to Zimbabwe to be on the forefront. The only day they may come back to Zimbabwe is when Nelson Chamisa is in power, when Nelson Chamisa is president, and they are told, come and grab a position and be a minister, a deputy minister, or a permanent secretary, or come and head a certain institution. That is the only reason they will make it back to Zimbabwe, some of them. So if we allow them, or if we allow these people who are not on the ground to dehumanize our MPs, our leaders, it's not good. It's wrong. Why? Because it makes ZANU-PF win. In the past few days, I've been checking in on WhatsApp. We have some WhatsApp groups. We are losing in those WhatsApp groups in terms of propaganda, in terms of debates, in terms of whatever. We are losing. Why? It's because ZANU-PF is using the same people who we say are on our side, is using the same people to its own advantage. Divide and rule tactic. We are not divided. So I believe that there are so many mistakes which might happen, but we need to know that there are certain issues which we cannot resolve on social media. We need to make sure that our influencers know the direction they have to take. It's like Daddy Hope came on a certain day. He attacked the MPs for taking my 40,000 case. A day later or two, he changed the narrative and said, yes, they should take the money and they should invest that money. So you would see, Kuti, that issue alone, it's confusing. It creates a situation where our MPs or our people are confused to say, what should happen? What should be done? I believe that Citizens Coalition for Change, with its leader, Advocate Nelson Chamisa, there are issues they must sit down and resolve privately, especially these issue loans, their participation, national events, and everything. There are certain issues where President Nelson Chamisa need to sit down with his team to say, guys, do A, B, C, D, and they do things according to their own agreement, which doesn't need to come out publicly. There are certain issues which the Citizens Coalition for Change team leadership should not come out publicly to show that there is a division which is there. So I believe that, honestly speaking, if Chalton Hwende decides to do this, it will be a disadvantage because we need rural mobilization. We need visibility in the rural areas. And a sitting MP does have more advantage than an ordinary person because they can penetrate these areas, do campaigns more effectively than anybody. So the people in diaspora, they've contributed so much in terms of resources to make sure that the organization remain oiled. But we need to have people on the ground. So you cannot insult the people on the ground just because you have paid something. So you would see that you can pay some money, you can fund the party, you can give some resources. But if there are no people on the ground forwarding the agenda of the party, those resources will be wasted. So I believe that we need to resolve this and amicably deal with each other. We cannot be advisors, all of us on social media. We cannot attack our leaders publicly. That is not right. That is not good. That is my opinion. And I don't know, guys, what you think about these tweets from Chalton Hwende. But myself, I do agree with him that there is so much toxicity. There are people who think that they know everything. Avatsurike, ukatoatsura, they'll tell you kuti hapana zvaunotiita. And at the end of the day, who suffers? It is us. If you look at the performance in the recent by-election, it's because the team is not united. The team is divided, and people were not mobilizing as they are supposed to be doing. So it's a it's a plus to ZANU-PF. It's a problem to us, and let us work together in unity and in harmony. I think this is going to be resolved, and we are going to have the comrade back to work and on the ground.